Good day. I was just bringing some peelies down for our compost. As I was coming in here, I've noticed that there seems to be either a lack of germination or things are being munched here. There is one just there. Not sure about that. Bit odd, because if I stand back, you can see that the germination is really good across the board. There does seem to be a sort of fox paw print there, but yeah, maybe it's late germination, but I think not. Gosh, it's windy today. Windy and wintry. Sort of quite watery skies today, but that's fine. These Mizuna in the greenhouse have settled in well. They're growing rather nicely now, slowly but nicely, which is great. I still need to sort out our tunnel with the other Mizuna out there, but it's still giving a little bit of protection. And nothing yet in the parsley or coriander, which is sort of what I expected. That will take quite a few weeks, I think, to do anything. I've just given it a little bit of water, so the lid's going back on. And down here we've got our sweet pea. Oh, look! Look! I think that's a sweet pea. I was going to say there's no germination in the sweet peas, but that's a sweet pea at the back, I'm sure of it. Oh, exciting! Exciting! Yeah, it's sort of damp about an inch down, but I think I'm just going to give the surface a little water from the rose of the watering can. But look, there's our first sweet pea. Yay! Oh dear. Oh, is that another one? Oh look, there's another one. Can you see that one? Tiny. Two sweet peas. Two sweet peas. God, I'm such a child when it comes to germination. Mind you, I think most of us are. Yeah. Having looked at the sweet peas, I thought we'd have a look at the first early peas. And germination's been pretty good. Bit lacking along here. And I think I only sowed up to about there anyway, over there. So yeah, they're forming their leaves. If I can get over here, you can see here the little leaves that are beginning to form, and I'm sure the milder weather will be helping those. Quite a few weeks since we last saw these strawberries, and as you can see, the really vibrant colours of autumn have virtually gone now. Few fresh green leaves and sort of growth, but most are sort of crispy and brown now. Need to get in here and just weed, so I will be doing that. And then these are the iris that we were given a couple of months ago, and you can see that they're doing well. And again, I just need to do a little bit of weeding, take these weeds out before they take hold. That's really what I'm trying to do now, so we have enough weeds on the rest of the plot. A bit of a flying visit this afternoon. Oh, I just realised I've got my glasses on. I was thinking, why can't I see the screen? Clearly. Yeah, just popping down to bring those peelies down and just have a look around, and I'm so excited about that sweet pea germination. I mean, it's just so gorgeously ludicrous, isn't it? And there's a one of our paddock plot holders, they've been having a clear out at their home, and there's various pots that they didn't need and saucers. So I have picked up these saucers, got a couple of larger ones as well, and then there's some larger pots here that I'm going to take over to another tenant who said that she would like some. So those and these are going to her. But you know, it's really great that with our WhatsApp group that we've got, which is really quite active, you know, you can say, is anyone interested in this? What was it the other day? Dumpy bags, you know, the sort of builders bags, which are great, you know, to use. You can actually do compost in them as well. You may remember when we first positioned the compost bins, which are over there, there was an old compost bin in its place, a pallet one, and we removed that, and all of that compost, there were quite a lot of weeds in it, all of that compost went into the dumpy bag for about 8 months, I think it was, and over that time the composting continued, and then we just took out the remainder of any perennial weed roots that were in there. Obviously we took them out before we put the compost in, and when I say we, I mean I as well. Richard didn't help me with that. So yeah, someone said, I've got some dumpy bags, would anyone like them? So my plot neighbour over here is taking those. I think she's using them partly for storage and partly for compost, but they're so good to have, you know, they really are. And that's a fabulous thing about having an active community at an allotment, and one that really sort of generally gets on with each other. You know, we get on with each other. When if there's something that you don't want, it might be useful to somebody else. So yeah, that's great. I think that's about it for today. I'm gonna drop these off at the other tenant, as I say, and I'm going to go back home and edit this because I need to get onto a conference call shortly. So I'd like to edit this before I get onto that conference call. But you know, this is the first day I've been down. It's Thursday afternoon, and it's the first time I've been down this week because I was with Vanessa on Tuesday, and then yesterday it was a day at my desk because I had quite a lot that I needed to get done. And I think tomorrow is going to be maybe a little bit easier, but I think now is the time where I really need to crack on with doing some tidying. Oh, I also had a drink at our pub just over there with the chair of the community gardens the other day, and I asked him about slabs, and he's going to check out to see if they do have 5 spare slabs that can go over there. I know that we've got 2 flagstones here that I could use, but I think they're better used for something else. So if I can get 5 slabs for over there, I'll be really happy. I'm generally okay. Yeah, in terms of happiness. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go before I really do start waffling. See you again soon. Bye. Good day. Whilst it might be Holy Night for many organised religions, we've got quite a few holes appearing at the allotment. I'm not sure if you can see, well, you can see this one here. It doesn't seem to go down any further than that. But yeah, it's quite a big hole. I mean, I've seen bigger, but it's really odd because it's in our main thoroughfare of our entrance. So a lot of footfall goes past this. We don't have rabbits, or we haven't had rabbits on site, and there's a few other holes that we're finding a little bit mysterious as well. Let's go and have a look at those. Another hole, a bit smaller than the last. That looks like a burrow, and then here is another one, and then over here is quite a lot of earth that has been churned up. Not quite sure where the hole would be here. Maybe over there. This is our wildlife area at the allotment. It's left very much, it's managed, but is left very much to its own devices. There is a sort of pond system over there. So this area is actually quite quiet. It's behind our bee plots where bees are kept. So yeah, it's quite nice and quiet, but none of us are quite sure. Oh look, there's another one over there. I mean, there's, you know, we did think it could be rats, but there's very little activity in this compost bin because of course compost heats up and rats like warmth, don't we all? So you'd expect them to be in there, and this burrow here seems to go down and bend that way. Yeah, and you know what? There's one of these at the back of my plot now too. Not sure if you can see on the edge of that tree, there's some magpies. There's 6. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold. So fingers crossed. They've been chattering quite a lot, and when I came along they sort of stopped. But they are there. They are there. I do love magpies. And of course they do like eating things on the ground as well, so yeah, like our tomatoes and also sometimes our apples. Anyway, let's go and find that hole. So this isn't quite a hole, but this is at the side of my compost bin beneath my dead hedge here, and you can see there's been a lot of uplift of soil there, and I'm not sure what it is, but seems to sort of scurry up there. Something does. Be unusual to be a hedgehog turning over so much soil, but this is where the hedgehogs have been previously. Oh, I'm almost falling over. We're now at the back of the 1940s shed, and this is a well-used hole here. This one's much larger, about a foot across, and I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a clear slope here down. This is where brush resides generally, underneath our 1940s shed. Yeah, so this is a much larger hole than the others that we've looked at, which are more like 3 inches, 4 inches across. And whilst brush has, well, generally resides under here, Felicity was residing under there, but she seems to have not been around for a while. But she's got her own hole that goes down there under this side, but it's more difficult to see, so we won't have a look at that. But yeah, you can see this is sort of quite a substantial hole going under corrugated metal here, which is why I haven't got rid of this corrugated metal. Yes, we're all a little bit mystified by those holes, particularly the ones by the behind where the bee plots are, and also the one behind my polytunnel by the hot bin there. It could be rats. It's most probably likely rats, but somebody also thought, and in fact it was my first thought, could it be ferrets? Could it be polecats? You know, they're ferrets and released ferrets are around here, we know that, and polecats are unlikely. Weasels, stoats, you know, no, I don't think that they're in this area, but certainly something is making those holes and those tunnels. We haven't had rabbits. I don't know, knowing people that have been here a long time, rabbits have never ever been an issue here. And that is sort of because we're landside. Even though we're on a river, we're sort of landside, if you see what I mean. We've got roads around us. So in order for rabbits, which are well over on Warren Farm, to come over here, they need to travel sort of quite a few hundreds of meters. And secondly, they need to cross over the canal. They need to come over a bridge, you know, do all of that. So it would be quite challenging for rabbits to get here, as with ferrets and stoats and polecats and weasels and all of that type of thing. But of course, in the summer, that big willow fell across the River Brent, and it breached our boundaries. So actually, at one point, we saw people trying to walk across the tree, which had fallen, to come over here. And we had to sort of say, you know, this is private land, please don't come over. So, you know, if people could, with quite a lot of difficulty, it has to be said, certainly rabbits and ferrets and polecats could get over. And also, you know, maybe even a different sort of population of rats, community of rats could come over as well, which might have decided to make their home there. You know, but it's just really odd that something which hasn't been seen for that type of hole and that type of community of hole appearing so quickly hasn't been seen ever, according to our long-standing plot holders. So I wonder what it is. I will be putting a wildlife camera down there next week. I got it out, and it's always a bit of an issue, my wildlife camera. As soon as I change the battery, it seems to reset itself. So I need to look at the instructions online and sort of set it all up again. But hopefully we will do that next week when we've got some time. And actually, you know, that's being busy has been the story of this week, and this week's A Week at the Plot, and not being busy down here. There's been so much going on with, for our sake, with it closing on Cranley High Street to move to other premises. Things have been really busy at my desk, and also I've been down there. So, you know, it's I've only been here twice this week. Today is Sunday, and tomorrow, of course, is Christmas Day, because today is Christmas Eve. So yeah, I think this is the first week where I've not actually done anything at the plot other than a little bit of watering, which you saw me doing the other day. Did you see me doing that the other day? But yeah, I have been planning, and I've been thinking, and I've looked in my seed box and found a couple of things I hadn't expected to find in my seed box. But you know what? We'll talk about that next week at some point. So what I'm going to do now is go home, prepare for friends coming over on Christmas Day tomorrow. And I really hope that whatever you're doing over Christmas, whether it's busy and family and friends, or whether it's nice and quiet and relaxing and just you and maybe one or two others, I hope you have a fabulous time. I will be doing a little bit of harvesting on Christmas Day, and that will start off next week's A Week at the Plot. But there's not that much to harvest this year, but there is something, or there's two things that I'll be harvesting. Anyway, however things are this Christmas at your garden, your growing space, or your allotment, I hope you are finding some time and solace in those spaces. And I will see you on Planet Vegetaria throughout next week with further uploads of A Week at the Plot. And on New Year's Day, there'll be another upload for next week's A Week at the Plot. But yeah, in the meantime, if you've got to the end here, bananas, and it's Christmas Day, or at least this is being released at 6 p.m. on Christmas Day. Have a good one. See you very soon. Happy growing. Bye.